Hi guys, Toby here for TP23 Productions. So back once again with a game review. This time around reviewing the game Driver San Francisco. So the game kicks off with a massive drug dealer. His name is Jericho and he is getting transported by the police. So Jericho going from one side of San Francisco to another side of San Francisco, and that's where things start to go wrong. So cinematics, awesome in this. Jericho, as he's getting transported, you see the guard a bit of roughing him up, and this guard just happens to put a capsule into his mouth. As we find out later on, this capsule is acid. How it doesn't break and kill him in his mouth, God only knows. So, acid capsule in his mouth, this is to cut the chains. So, as Jericho's being transported, a few minutes in, the transportation is being filmed by the local news crew. However, this news helicopter just happens to have an RPG on board, and the woman who uses the RPG blows up the police convoy. So this gives Jericho the opportunity to escape the convoy. Chase ensues, which leads to the main character, who you play, the undercover cop, having a crash with Jericho. So after the crash, you, the main character, the undercover cop, happens to have some sort of out-of-body experience. You can now switch between any car in San Francisco. You are yourself, so you see it through the undercover cop. However, if there's a passenger, if there is a passenger in the car, they see the original person. So their friend, their mum, their dad, whoever's driving the car, they see them. However, it is the undercover cop who is driving. This was a bit odd to first get used to, really, once you understand that Jericho is out of body floating through cars. This is a bit odd, really. So the out-of-body experience floating in and out of cars happens while the undercover cop who had a crash with Jericho is in a coma. I shit you not, the main character's in a coma. This was, once again, pretty odd. The guy is doing it all through his head. It's like an episode of Dallas. It's all a dream. The undercover cop is floating in San Francisco, driving any car he wants, while in a coma state. Very odd. So in the game there are 120 different licensed cars. This means that there's no cheater, as GTA calls it. It is now a Ferrari. Same with the Porsche, it's called a Porsche, and Bentleys are called Bentleys. Every car is officially named, which is cool, is good, gives that extra little touch, authenticity, official gameplay. Very cool. Like I mentioned earlier, you play as the undercover cop. This cop, who is in a coma, just happens to be the main character and also the guy who put Jericho behind bars. The graphics of the game, especially the cinematics, do look amazing. Cinematics aside, the graphics of the game is still very good. I noticed on the PS3 version of the game you do play in HD 720p, which is a good addition. Adds a touch of HD gameplay. Very good nowadays. HD TVs, HD consoles. It's what you want from a game, really. There are over 200 missions throughout the game. A lot of side missions and a lot of collectibles to be found in San Francisco. These are pretty cool. Side missions and the collectibles, very good to do while you're not trying to do the main storyline, which is catch Jericho. With each side mission that you do and with each mission that you complete, you do earn money. This is money that you can spend in the garage, either to buy cars or to upgrade them. In the game, some of the cars that you drive do feel heavy and sluggish. For some reason as well, the cars always want to skid around corners. This really did piss me off. Not every car in the world has the ability to drift. This, for some reason, they included it in the game. Every car wanted to drift. That was probably the biggest negative I had about the game. Everything else was alright. You know, can't complain really. It was a good driving game, but the drifting, even simple braking, managed to swing the back end out into a drift. Very annoying, very constant. But that was the only downside really that I could find with the game. The bad drifting. So apart from the one negative I found, Driver San Francisco is a good racing game with a story. I do not regret getting Driver San Francisco. I enjoy the graphics, the gameplay, the cinematics, the storyline. I enjoy floating in and out of different cars and upgrading them. Side missions are good and interesting. The fact that you can earn money as well, that's cool. Honestly, it is a good game. So that was my review of Driver San Francisco. Good game, apart from the drifting. Good storyline, good graphics, cinematics. It's a good game overall, really. Hope you did enjoy it. Thanks for watching.